And now we're going to get to our next part of her interview. There's a lot of gold in here. And here she gets into a conversation on, I think, some of the metaphor that we drew on as we were putting together the Bible study for today. And we're looking at perseverance. So I think this is going to be a really dope segment. So let's go ahead and get that going. I couldn't help but like shake loose this image as you started even just describing your first moment in the dark room. And I love the way that you're reshaping your understanding of your history. And it sounds like very much like your history was that dark room, right? And like going into it, it's just darkness, and this looks like this blank cell, you know, or whatever. And then given time and the right chemicals and the process and being patient with the process, now you've got this beautiful work of art that was there all along, but
it was already there. It was already there. It's just that I had to go through a process to get to where I am today. And it's interesting how, like, and maybe it could have been anything. Maybe it could have been any form of art, you know, that would have given me this kind of skill to craft like this metaphor. But this one in particular, this photographic metaphor is like, that's my life, you know, to be told like, oh, you know, you're going to end up like your mom, or, oh, you know, nothing good comes from this, or you're just a foster kid, or you have no place, and all these things. And until you like accidentally, right, get dipped into this first chemical, it's like, wait a minute, that was me given these opportunities. Like, wait a minute, maybe I don't have to be a failure to thrive. Maybe I can thrive. And it did something to my taste buds within my life. Like, it just, like, I kept yearning for that taste, you know. And such as the same with Christianity, right? It's a process. You know, you're developing in life. But those chemicals become biblical principles that you have to saturate yourself in as time goes on. And when one process is done, like in photography, you have the developer, the stop, and then the fix. The developer, you know, the paper is being developed. Whatever image has been burned onto the paper, it has to go through this development. And it's a certain time frame for that. If you take it out too early, it's going to shift your results. If you take it out too late, it's going to have an issue with your results, depending on what you need. And so anyway, I'm getting all nerdy and extra. But
no, that's dope. No, look, that's dope. Like, I love the metaphor. I honestly now I'm like curious about the stop and the fix.
yeah. So after you're in there for the time frame that you need to be, you go to the stop, and the stop, it stops it from developing. So, but like kind of,
so it doesn't develop too much.
Exactly, it stops it, so that then you put it in the fix, and that's just like that finisher. You know, it's that final touch. And after the fix is done, mind you, the lights are out. You can't have the lights on if you have any light shining, which is so interesting. That I had to be developed in darkness, and that darkness, I hated it. I hated the process. I hated that I was in this system, in this situation. I hated the tug. I hated the smell in the dark room, right? I hated the process. It wasn't until you get into the fix, really, till you realize, oh shoot, and you can have a little light come on now. During the fix, the paper can be exposed to light now, because the job is done. You feel me? And then
now it's just the finishing touches.
Now you just got to wash it all off, you know, and then let it dry. But you could turn the light on. Until in my life, the light turned on within my mind and within my soul, I began to understand the process that's happening in the darkness. I understand the beauty of pain. And so when other circumstances come, I'm not like afraid of adversity. I'm not afraid of it. I'm actually ready. Like, oh shoot, what did I learn from the last thing? What can I put in place? What can I do in order to combat against this? And my goodness, what will I look like at the end of this battle to be stronger? You feel me? So I'm no longer afraid of the darkness. You know what I'm saying?
Come on. Powerful stuff. Like that segment right there, I feel like I need to just like take that and like put it somewhere so I can replay it as needed.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mrs. Lee Font says the same thing. Ooh, this is good. Yeah, man. Yeah. Well, if you say something before I go ahead, I'm about to go off. So
no, I mean, obviously she has like a way with words, like for real. Like she just gets into it. But what I was thinking, I loved everything she said. But what I was thinking, I'm like, man, what if we all as believers like thought like that? Like we would be on fire. Like if we just took everything as a lesson and then how do I maneuver in this? And oh man, that's just, I think that's what we should be striving for.
Yeah, and I loved the metaphor so much. Like she talked about, I wrote it down again here, the 3 stops or the stages of the process: the developer, the stop, and the fix. The developer, like, you know, like that's what we were talking about a lot today. It was like it goes from looking like there's nothing there, looking like there's no hope, and you have to be in darkness. That was actually like, man, if I'm thinking about this on a metaphorical level and like as I compare it to my life, like it doesn't work without the darkness.
Yep.
You know, you have to go through that. Or you don't become the beautiful image, you know. And then the stop, I thought that was interesting too, is like that there's like an ordained amount of development necessary to get the perfect image. So it's like not underdeveloped, so you have to go through that, but then there's too much that could happen and the image could get overdeveloped, you know what I mean? And it's like, wow. So it's like just trusting God and his timing. And like, okay, when you say it's time, then we can turn the lights on.
Yes.
And now you're in your season of like shining.
Yeah.
And like, you know what I mean? It's like you're there, and now the beauty in what God created in that the others 2 processes can really be displayed.
Yes.
For all to glorify God and like, look at this amazing artist and the work that he did, you know.
That's so good. Yeah.
It just preaches to me every time now. I'm like, I need to be in that and remembering that. Oh gosh. So hey, you guys leave your thoughts too if there's something specific about that segment or any other segments that are speaking to you. And maybe what stage in the process do you believe you're in right now? I think right now I'm in that stop. I'm in the process, because for me it's also it feels like the Lord is even reminding me of like exactly to what I'm being called, and like don't do too much. You're like, don't go beyond this, you know, like stop. You know, like this is it. This is the spot. You know what I mean? And then when you can actually land in that and stop where I'm telling you now, you can get to the fix. Yeah. And like, here we go. So like I feel like I'm sensing him, you know, telling me about that now. It's such a beautiful and like I think biblically accurate metaphor for our life, like just from the process of developing photography. Okay. Anyways.